This whole fiasco regarding Donald Trump and the Manhattan District Attorney is now turning into a farce. There's a difference between a fiasco and a farce. A fiasco is there's just chaos running around and nobody really knows what's happening. There's plenty of that. But a farce is when you have reality twisted into something that isn't real. That's a fiction. And it looks like that's what this prosecution is. So all of the pundits, they're all wrong, almost 100% down the line, except for me, thank you. Gag order, of course there was no gag order. There's going to be a mug shot and he's going to be in, all of that. It was a procedure where Donald Trump went in, okay, and he came out about 45 minutes later and he went to the airport to give his speech tonight. So let me just recap what's happening in the global picture, the big picture, because I don't know enough about the indictments. There are 34 of them, all felonies. How can he commit 34 felonies with one transaction to Stormy Daniels or this McDougal woman? I don't know, but I got a guess who's going to explain that to us. So anyway, I entitled this Talking Points memo, "It's a Trump World After All," with apologies to Disney. So for the past 7 years, Donald Trump has dominated the news cycle almost every day. 7 years. Never in history have we seen anybody, any human being do this. So every single day it's Trump, 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 Trump. And now we're at the top of the mountain. I would say third in importance. The first was when he was elected, second when he was inaugurated, and now this. But it's always Trump, 7 years. And Americans are polarized. Everybody knows that. I'm not going to insult you by telling you things that you know. But today, I felt sad for my country. I didn't feel proud of the United States today because I know a bit more about the personal end of this than most people do. I know the district attorney in Manhattan is an ideologue who believes that this country, the country that he's sworn to serve, is bad. Alvin Bragg thinks we live in a terrible country, and Donald Trump is one of the reasons why it's terrible. That's where you start with Bragg. You don't start with the law or him investigating. He doesn't want to investigate. 50% of all the felony arrests referred to his office are either dismissed or busted down to misdemeanors, which means there's no punishment. So he has no interest in enforcing the law, Alvin Bragg. He wants politics. He wants to destroy the system that we have in place now in the United States and New York State and City. That's Alvin Bragg's goal. And it is beyond any reasonable doubt. I've said that a few times this week. There's no two sides to that story. The man's not a patriot. He doesn't think his country's noble. He wants to tear it to pieces. And what better way to do it than to get Trump? All right, we proved that yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's talking points, you should go to BillO'Reilly.com and watch it because it sets up today and the rest of the week. Who Alvin Bragg is, what he said in the past, all of that is in yesterday's talking points. Okay, so even while this was going on, this indictment in Lower Manhattan, in California, the Ninth Circuit federal judges ruled that Stormy Daniels has to pay Donald Trump another $125,000. Did you know that? So that means she's on the hook to Trump for about $450,000. Stormy Daniels has to pay him. Why? Because Ms. Daniels accused Donald Trump of defamation and the case was thrown out. All right? So this happened March 22nd, 2022. So the judge in the case ordered Daniels to pay the court costs and Trump lawyer costs, which were $450,000. It was unbelievable because at the very moment that Trump was being indicted, a formal indictment inside the building in New York City, the ruling from the Ninth Circuit came down in California saying that Stormy Daniels is to pay him $450,000. So you can see the word fiasco is not even close to describing what's going on here. Now, for me, I'm not an attorney. I mean, if somebody breaks the law, I think they should be punished. It just depends on what the extent is. So Hillary Clinton's campaign was fined because Mrs. Clinton used campaign money to gin up a phony Russian collusion situation. And she was found guilty of doing that. But instead of being charged criminally, it was a civil beef, Federal Election Commission beef. She had to pay a fine. Now, that's what should have happened here, in my opinion, with this Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, whatever. Okay? All right, if you did something and misused some funds designated for your campaign or for your business that helped your campaign, then you get fined. It's a civil beef, all right? You don't get dragged in. Trump knows all this, by the way, and this just hardens his heart, and he'll speak, as I said, in Mar-a-Lago tonight, and I'll tell you exactly what he's going to say. He's going to say this country is corrupt. He's going to say that the country is going down the drain, and that if you American people allow this, you're not going to have a country anymore. And there's some truth to what he's saying. And the networks are going to have to take some of it, even those who hate Trump, because it'll be a historic speech. And he'll raise $10 million for his reelection effort, and he'll go up in the polls. And remember, his reelection campaign is different from donating money to him personally, okay? And he can use the donations that come in to pay his attorneys. And just to defend himself against all of these charges, it's going to cost about $50 million. And that's our justice system, $50 million. Now, I'm a historian, you all know that. So I just want to refer back to a man named Robert Ray. Robert Ray was a special counsel appointed to investigate Bill Clinton. Okay? He looked into all of Clinton's alleged crimes, okay, which included perjury, included Whitewater stuff, all of that. So Ray came back, and I'm going to put this up on the screen, January 2001, with a statement. I'm going to read it to you. President Clinton has acknowledged responsibility for his actions. He has admitted that he knowingly gave evasive and misleading questions in the Jones deposition, that's Paula Jones, and that his conduct was prejudicial to the administration of justice. He has acknowledged that some of his answers were false. This is perjury. He has agreed to a 5-year suspension of his Arkansas law license, and he's agreed not to seek attorney's fees in connection with this matter. The nation's interests have been served, and therefore I decline prosecution. Now, Bill Clinton could have been prosecuted on perjury charges. Absolutely could have been. And he would have been convicted in a court of law. But Ray, the special prosecutor, put the country above that charge. That's what he did. Now, a lot of people, they don't remember that. And then I wrote my column over the weekend on Gerald Ford pardoning Richard Nixon. So you should read that as well. So there's precedent here in our justice system to put the country's welfare, ahead of personal politics. You have precedent. Not here. Now, there's a lot of speculation. You know how much I hate that. I just hate that. So I'm not going to do that. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the best legal advice in the world, and then I'm going to give you an assessment of the 34 felony counts. But it requires study. It requires thought. It requires consultation, which I will do. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today, and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door, or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.